How did we get here? I've been calling this for months, not because I'm super wise and can see the future, but because it was really, really, really obvious. Like, everyone paying attention to this could see it coming. Flashback to a few months ago. Folks, believe it or not, it's not actually good for your mental health to consume political news nonstop 24/7, especially in fraught times like these, and then not actually do anything about it. You know, you're just sitting there, you're thinking, what are you doing? I've got good news for you. Progressive Victory right now is gunning up for a big event October 5th and 6th in Wisconsin, canvassing for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, our preferred candidate for the presidency and vice presidency, if you didn't know. And they're doing phone banking and canvassing all over the country, okay? Basically what I'm saying is you should check out Progressive Victory's activities, you know? Pinned comment down below. I know you're thinking I'm busy, I don't want to do it, it's going to be difficult. I get so many people saying it's better than they think it's going to be. It's good. At least take a look. There's a lot going on. Maybe you think, oh, I'll contribute an hour a week, and then it turns out, you know, maybe you contribute 2 hours. You're having so much fun. Just give it a look. Donald Trump in Georgia.
Things we have to do. We have to vote, and we have to make sure that we stop them from cheating, because they cheat like dogs.
By name, three
I don't know if
members.
You've heard, but the Georgia State Election Board is in a very positive way. This is a very positive thing, Marjorie. They're on fire. They're doing a great job. 3 members.
Now remember, a state election board is an incredibly boring bureaucratic position. These are meant to be low-level, unnamed administrative workers. These are not like fiery propagandists. These are not populist leaders. Their job is to press the buttons, dot the I's, and cross the T's. Donald Trump goes over to Georgia, and of this board of 5 faceless, nameless bureaucrats, he names 3.
Janice Johnson, Rick Jeffries, and Janelle King. 3 people.
All 3 are 2020 election deniers. They are partisan Republicans who, following Donald Trump's loss in Georgia in 2020, if you'll recall, Blorgia, it was a big thing at the time. You were there, I hope. I hope you're not less than 4 years old watching the stream. It was a big deal, and Republicans did not want it to happen again. So we have 3 of the 5-person Georgia State Election Board, all complicit in a plot to prevent a Democrat win there again. And they finally played their hand. With just less than 2 months to go before the election, they have put forward a rule requiring a hand count of all ballots on election day. No counting beforehand of early ballots, no other systems, all hand count. An impossible task that could not be done by any state in the union, as I understand it, at least from what I've read, objectively cannot be done in Georgia. It is not possible. It is mathematically incomprehensible. Why? Excellent question. They're doing this for one of 2 reasons. If irregularities in the count produced by this insane ask lead to a Trump win, then that's why. If they don't, the fact that it will take a long time to count these votes will be used as a legal argument from the Trump campaign to demand a recount or to push for a separate slate of electors like he did in 2020. They want to create uncertainty. They want to create stuff that on November 6th, the Republican establishment can go, why are counts taking so long in Georgia? What's going on down there? And of course, we all know what's going on down there. They changed the rules deliberately to produce this, but that won't matter. That doesn't matter. The fact that they're obviously lying doesn't matter. It could also be an attempt to manufacture miscounts. It's possible that they have other loyalists operating across the state who are willing to miscount and commit like genuine voter fraud all over the place in an effort to like push the numbers. Even if their deception ends up getting found out, it won't matter. The narrative will already be set. If you have a higher Republican vote count for 2 days, and then after 2 days, the irregularities are discovered and corrected, what happened to those votes? Oh, I mean, you're talking about an electorate who are still genuinely motivated to despair by that meme of how the blue votes ticked up like this when all of the mail-in votes got added to the vote count back in the 2020 election. I mean, these people are not bright. They literally did this before. All of this is happening again. So this is, I want to be clear here, okay? And I want to speak, I want to dispense with euphemism. I want to be like very clear here. This is treason. The three on this board, treason. The people orchestrating it, treason. A deliberate attempt to undermine the laws of this country to instill a hostile government. It is treason. It is treason. No Fed posting, guys. Don't you Fed post. All right? It is treason. It is absolutely, unquestionably treason. But because our institutions assume that people, that they'll play fair, that they're not acting in bad faith, this will not be legally perceived as treason. Vaush is telling his voters how to commit voter fraud. He will use the chaos and fraud his own voters cause to delay win the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court will kick to votes where it goes on a state-by-state basis. Yes, keep in mind that irregularities and disputes in the election will be settled by the 6-3 conservative Supreme Court, and they know what their job is. They are paid political operatives, just like every one of these people. They are not, arbiters of law. They will do anything and everything they can. How do you think the Dems can combat this? Well, they are suing. Or at least there are plans to sue, because this is an insane rule to put forward at the last hurdle. But, again, the number one way to deal with this is a mass arrest of the people who are deliberately trying to destroy this country from within by breaking its laws and assuming nothing will ever happen to them, because so far nothing has ever happened to them. Mountains and mountains of laws broken. To what consequence? A few people got arrested, that Trump bailed them out after the Mueller investigation. That's it. Trump just bailed them out. Who cares? No consequences, no accountability. The local Republicans in my state are trying to do the exact same thing as in Georgia. Yeah, it's not just that either. Yep, you've got it. No pain, Bogain. In Nebraska. Nebraska has a split electoral vote system where Omaha's district, gets its own electoral vote. A small change that in this election might end up being pivotal. They are trying now to have a winner-takes-all system in Nebraska, because that would prevent Omaha from being able to give that one extra blue electoral vote to the Democrats. Having a winner-takes-all system would flatten Nevada down into a solid red block, rather than having one electoral count from the Omaha county being given to the Democrats. All of these changes are being done last minute. And look, Donald Trump is directly pushing for it. It's treason. It's direct treason. The idea that this is being done as an organic part of a genuine interest in promoting the common welfare is like completely, like they're not even pretending. It's literally directly Donald Trump calling people. It's just the same as after the last November, after the last election. Donald Trump, calling, hey, we need 13,000 votes here. Can you find 13,000 votes? Naked, blatant electoral interference. No interest. We're essentially getting like p-hacking on an election level, where the Republicans are trying to find every weak point, every fracture, every problem in the system, and bias every system that they can in order to, like, every little slant they can get will point towards them. Every possible advantage, every 50.01% chance they get, they will tilt it towards them, flatten all the differences, and institute minoritarian rule. How the Republicans managed to infiltrate everything under the radar. This isn't infiltration. Republicans are everywhere. It's the second largest party in the United States. They're just breaking the rules, and there are no consequences for this. That's it. There were just in America, if you steal a Twix bar from a gas station, you can go to prison. If you openly conspire to alter laws to produce a specific outcome in an election, there is no law against this. You can just do that. It doesn't matter how, even if the laws that you're pushing for are unlawful, like in this case, blatant electoral interference. It doesn't matter. Thank you, Annie. They are literally trying to steal the election, and knowing how spineless the Democrats are, if the GOP ends up succeeding, Dems will just say we concede or some lib shit. I don't want to cheapen my alarmism here. Alarmism's the wrong word, because, like, is it alarmism to pull a fire alarm when there's a fire, right? Man, you're being pretty alarmist rhetoric right now as the fires like consume both of us, or we die of smoke inhalation. I don't want to cheapen it with, I guess, like petty and anti-liberal, barbs, even if they're completely correct. In this moment, like, we have to know who our enemy is. The Republicans are evil. They are just evil. They're evil and they hate you. There is no shared belief among the people in positions of power across the Republican Party that they are doing this for your good. They know who they serve, and it is not you. There are Democrats who fit that category, but there are far fewer of them, and they are not the majority. A lot of them are well-intentioned idiots, or at the very least overly naive. That being said, like, we are up against the cutting block here. We are running out of time. We are very literally running out of time. This is it. We're pretty much out. Like, this is their shot. If something is not done, and not just petty legal challenges, why won't Dems call this shit out? They do, but no one listens and no one cares. Not just petty, like, case-by-case legal challenges, but, you know, a massive top-down, like, DOJ investigation or arrest warrants. They're not going to do this, of course, but damn, it would be nice. It has always been, like, one of the greatest weaknesses of liberal bourgeois democracy that you can essentially start wars over something like 9/11 or the threat that ISIS poses to us, which was always minimal. You know, I mean, you can pour trillions of dollars and thousands of lives into a blender to resolve these foreign threats. But when the threat is real, just as real, domestic, and 1,000 times greater, there is no legal mechanism. That it has to be, the violence has to be explicit or foreign. If it's not explicit, if it's implicit, and if it's domestic, then you lose all that power, and instantly they can do whatever the they want. Quit asking me what they can do. You know, you people are exhausting. Just dropped my phone on my face lying in bed. This was also orchestrated by the Republicans. Keep that in mind. Anything wrong with still being tentatively hopeful for a Harris win? No, it's still possible. This is why I've stressed for so long for my entire channel that unlike what some lefties will tell you online, America is in fact a democracy. Trust me, if America wasn't a democracy, do you really think they would go through all of this trouble to desperately try to eke out like a marginal edge case victory? Like, if it wasn't a democracy, why is the battleground for this election the election? Why isn't it, why is it not just like, let whatever happens happens, and then Republicans press the big red button that says 99% of the votes were for Trump, actually? Why is it not like an Assad tier situation? No, unfortunately, it is a real democracy, a flawed one, but a real democracy. And that means that in spite of all of the, you know, lunatic behavior from the Republicans, it is still very possible that the Democrats win. And maybe if the Democrats win, they don't learn the right lessons. They certainly didn't learn the right lesson after 2016, when Hillary Clinton fumbled an easy win by being contemptible and unlikable. You know, they didn't learn anything after that. They didn't learn that populism, that Bernie Sanders' message was better for the country and did more to appeal to the disenfranchised voter than anything Hillary Clinton or Joe Biden could ever do or say. I do think the Dems learned some of this lesson. Maybe they learned part of it. But, you know, it's America. Less than a 60% is a fail. I made this prediction back in 2020 as well, and I was wrong. I said this very confidently, and I was wrong. And, you know, I can't see the future. I believed it then. I was wrong. I thought that Donald Trump wouldn't be a threat in 2024. I thought that he would be too saddled with debt, with legal challenges, with age. But age-wise, while he has grown more incomprehensible, he's still walking around. Debt-wise, it seems like the entire GOP at this point is just a financial apparatus that funnels money into Trump's campaign and his legal fees. Legal challenges-wise, he has been favored time and time again with delays in sentencing, with the Supreme Court ruling saying that he has functional immunity to, you know, relevant acts committed while in the presidency. You know, he has been privileged by time and circumstance in ways I couldn't predict. But I will nonetheless humiliate myself and make another prediction. I think that if we win here, I don't think he'll be an issue in 2028. My reasoning for this? Come on, how old can a guy get? Really, that's it. Really, that's it. I just don't think that at 85 or whatever, 84, 85, I just don't think at 84, 85 he could be. Yeah, that's it. That's all I'm landing on here, you know? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, you know, evil really does keep you young forever, like they say. But you've doomed us all, Vosh. Yeah. Yeah, nuts. I'm not really concerned so much about that. I really do think the GOP will be without Trump. My main concern is that there's a very real possibility that Trump wins in 2024. I still think it's a coin flip between him and Kamala Harris. If Trump wins, it won't matter if he dies. Like, he's already won the election. There might not be another one. We'll see. Good news, Vosh. I just flipped a coin and said Harris is going to win. A compelling argument. I feel like Kamala will have lower chances once Israel does the invasion. Yeah, that's a whole other factor, too. That's a whole other thing. This shit is really stressing me out. Yeah, it is, like, the most consequential election in a long time in the world. Not to overplay America or anything, but we are the main country. We are the main character country-wise, so it's pretty important. America is so tired. I don't like that rhetoric, to be honest. The GOP isn't tired. They want to string you up, you know? You always hear this "I'm tired" rhetoric from Democrats, not Republicans, you know? They're energized. They want you dead. At least some of them do. A lot of them want, like, the deep state destroyed or whatever. I feel like being tired is a luxury, kind of. Well, I mean, being tired is a feeling you have. It's not really a luxury. But the fact that that's a common sentiment expressed by people on the left makes me think that what a lot of them want is to, like, get back to normal. But unfortunately, you guys know that, like, you will never get to rest again, right? Until you die. You know that, right? Like, even if Donald Trump loses here, it's not just like Trump Kamala. It's the global resurgence of fascism. You know, like everywhere. It's happening everywhere. It's like a whole thing, kind of forever. Maybe if we luck out, we get a period of our lives, probably when we're older, where we have a relatively uninterrupted decade or two of things being kind of chill. Maybe. But, you know, maybe. Nah, bro. Look, I'm just trying to give people something, okay? Every time I say anything pessimistic, I get 57 emails from people being like, you know, I already have 12 reasons why. What the f is wrong with you? Why are you being negative? Why are you being doomer? And it's like, man, I just cover the news and play video games. Let me live. Don't be my 13th reason, okay? Don't add your stress to mine. Yeah, don't overburden your local yapper, okay? Reason for what? It's a bad TV show. Don't worry about it.